Yo, it's episode 19, eating with Sam. Look fat, where I'm so used to gotten so used over the last few months to see myself looking pale and dishevelled and sullen and empty. Now I've got a bit of colour and a bit of fullness, a bit of aliveness in my face again. Feels like I look fat. How are we doing? How are you all doing? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's enjoying the ride. Today I'm going to bring you back into the present and what's happening in the present day. Interesting time. I was saying to my mother yesterday, quite mad how everything could just suddenly sort of switch. So it's looking like I'm going to be starting this new drug soon. There's a new drug that come out for cystic fibrosis a few years ago now. And it's kind of the first drug that kind of targets like the root cause of the disease. Does something with the gene or something, I don't know, something about something, salts and I don't know. And I actually took part in the trial for it originally. Like, this probably would have been, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, something like that. And came out in this crazy rash, head to toe. Like, took it for a week. My lung function went up like 20% in a week. I forgot about this, but my mum was saying yesterday, but I just had no mucus to clear. I said I was just doing physio and there was just nothing to clear. So yeah, an amazing drug. But took part in the trial, had to stop after a week because come out in this crazy rash. And then when it came to market and was available a couple of years later, I didn't want it because I think it was around the same time where I'd started thinking, I could probably heal myself. I'm just going to heal myself. And so maybe because of the experience with the rash as well, I was just a bit like, nah, don't want it, don't need it. And this was obviously right in the thick of the time, or the start of the time, where I was kind of very much neglecting the physical reality of the disease. So I was just like, nah, I don't want it. And then that kind of changed the first time. I think the first time I did ayahuasca, I was going in looking for this crazy spiritual answer as to how I'm going to heal. And I thought, I'm just going to go in, I'm going to have this experience with ayahuasca, and I'm going to find the key, and I'm going to find healing. And what I actually got was her telling me, like, take your meds, you fucking dickhead. Like, you have to see to all aspects of your being if you want to heal. Do not neglect the physical. Take the meds. And so I come back with a complete switch in mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna give these new drugs a go. And so did, but after one day of taking them, I had this like reaction in my liver, and issues with the liver is one of the side effects with it. And I just had like this bad like liver pain, and started like my urine was all brown and I was just like, nah, I don't fancy that. Like, and because I was still in this mindset of like not really like wanting it, and like I was just like, after a day, had that reaction, I was like, nah, not doing it. So just forgot all about it. And then over the last period, like 6 months, when I had IVs, so like, what was that, like 6 months ago now, for the first time in 9 years, and that whole like reckoning of like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? What have I been doing to my body these last few years where my lung function had been steadily declining? And so I started considering it again, but there was a new drug, like same drug, but a different kind of, I don't know, different brand, like slightly different. And so the idea being, hopefully I will tolerate this new one better than the other one. Hopefully it won't cause me any issues. And so the idea has been that when that comes out, I'll give that a go. I'll start that, which I think is maybe even now, but it's going to be soon. So yeah, it's quite mad how just all of a sudden, like, if it goes well, if I tolerate it, you generally see like that 20% increase in your lung function, much less, like far less kind of like production of mucus, causing all these issues. And obviously affecting your day-to-day life. And that's quite mad to think, and it's funny because it brings up this part of me that's like, I don't want it. Like, I don't like, I very much am at a place of like, no, I want it, I'm ready. Like, but there's this little niggling part still that's just like wanting to heal, wanting to do it on my own without any drugs. Like, partly just to see, like, can you do that? Can I actually do that? I've been on this kind of journey for the last 4 or 5 years now. Can I actually do that? Like, is it possible? Like, can you see changes within the body based on, like, working through what I believe to be the underlying kind of emotional, psychological root of the disease? And because it's come at a time as well where, like, I think as I spoke to in the last video, I feel I've cleared everything connected to that on my father's side, and I'm now currently going through a process on the mother's side. It's kind of like, it seems close, like it seems like the end of that process, whether like what would actually happen at the end of that process, who knows? But it's like, I'm that close now, it's like I'd kind of like to find out. But also, my lungs are not in good condition. Like, I went to the hospital last week to trial some new nebulizer or inhaler, and they did my lung function, and it was bad. Like, bad. Worse than it was before I had the IVs 6 months ago. And so they wanted me to stay in hospital and have IVs again, and they were like, you need to come in and we need to figure out what is going on, what is with this, constant decline. I was like, well, I haven't got time right now, like, where I've like, where I'm not working at the hospital anymore, where I'm trying to transition into being able to do the therapy full time. All of my energy and focus and time needs to be dedicated towards that. I only have a certain amount of money before that runs out, like, and so I need to be giving all of my kind of time, energy, focus to building a client base so that I can just step into that without having to pick up another job that I don't want to do or anything, like, or relying on family or anything. Like, I'm trying to make that happen now, and that's the most important thing for me right now. And the thing is as well, it was like, I haven't exercised up until like a week ago. I haven't been able to exercise all year because of these different issues I've been having with my body. So my fitness is shot, like, bad. And obviously in that time as well, I had the flu, and then I had a chest infection again recently, and still my chest isn't like great now. Still got a bit of a cough and that. And so I was just like, with all that in mind, I'm not surprised my lung function has dropped that low. I was actually surprised because 2 weeks before I'd actually been to hospital and did my lung function then, and it was all right. And I was surprised then. But then, like, in those 2 weeks in between, I had a chest infection, didn't have any antibiotics. And so, so I was like, well, let's try 2 weeks of oral antibiotics before I just jump into fucking being in hospital having IVs again, because, for one, that doesn't work for me right now. And two, like, it just, I still have a lot of, like, hesitation, a lot of doubt about, like, the efficacy of a lot of anything to do with the medical system, A lot of that trust has been eroded, as it has for a lot of people, like, over these last few years. So but it was interesting because it just brought up that part that's like, I want to do it alone. I don't want to do it with the drugs. Like, I want to see what happens. I want to see if I can do it. But I'm not acting from that part, because this is the thing. I know, like, a big part of that urge to kind of want to just do it alone, and like, is this part of me that wants to do something grand, wants to achieve something amazing and special, because then I'll be enough. It's that is a big part of where that's coming from, and so I'm not gonna act from that place, like. But it was just interesting, just noticing it there, and I was reflecting, I was writing this morning and just mulling over it all, and it was like, my lungs need some support right now. Like, and I was thinking as well, like, man, I've given my lungs a beating. 15 odd years of smoking on and off. I don't regret it. Like, I do not regret it. But yeah, I've done some damage, and maybe the effect of sort of not taking any of my meds over the last few years. That's still up in the air about how much damage that's caused. But then, yeah, also not doing physio properly all the time, not clearing all the mucus all the time. It's probably had an effect. All these different things have had an effect, obviously. So yeah, it's interesting time. I'm gonna, when it's available, which I think is any time now, gonna start this new drug. Hopefully get 20% extra lung function. That'd be nice, because I could do with an extra 20 right now, because yeah, I think it's like dropped well below 50% again. Which ain't where you want to be. So yeah, never mind the part of me that wants to do something special and wants to do it all alone, and I don't need your help, and I'm going to do this and then I'll be worth something. Never mind that part of me. It can be there, that's fine. I'm happy for it to be there, but I certainly won't be acting from that, making decisions from that place. Yeah, and very much, because I don't want to be like taking this new drug from a place of resistance within me. Because I was thinking about that as well last time when I tried taking it before. I didn't really want to, like, I still had a lot of like, how much does that affect how you're receiving that drug and how it's going to merge with your body and affect your body. So I want to go into it from a place of like, very much like graciously welcoming this medicine into my being, and to have a harmonious relationship with it where it can support me in the moment and support me ultimately on the journey towards healing fully from the disease, and ultimately having some extra lung function and probably having extra energy and everything else that comes with that is going to be very conducive to me continuing that journey, however that's going to look. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's happening. I've pretty much caught you up to the present with the whole story. Like last episode, we got to the point of clearing everything on my father's side, which all kind of like came to an end around the time where I was having those IVs like 6 months ago. The only thing to kind of catch you up on now, I think, is maybe a bit about the process that started to unfold on my mother's side. Maybe I can share a little bit about that, where I'm at with that right now, because that's been interesting. And it's interesting how that's correlated to all of the issues I've had with my body these last few months. Like, yeah, interesting times. I don't know where it's going. Don't know what this healing is going to look like, if anything. Am I just tripping? I don't think so. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out from here. Yeah. It'll be good to let go of that resistance. That'll kind of be like a key moment of letting go of my resistance to dealing with the physical reality in the present, and also welcoming, accepting support, and not trying to, not feeling like I need to do it all on my own. Because that's a thing for me as well. So yeah, I'll speak to you on the next one. Enjoy the ride. Have a wicked day.